The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. This is Brian Ankney with AutoSuccess Magazine. Alex, Anthony, Arla, Ben, Cindy, I am so glad you took the time out of the day to join us today, and everybody else online. Today I have the pleasure of introducing to you Nancy Lim. She's the Director of Marketing at PureCars. Today we're going to talk about the power of social. But before we get started, I'd like to just mention a few things to you. Please take a look at the right side of your screen, or if you're using your smartphone, it could be at the top or the bottom, depending on whether you have Android or Apple. But there, you'll see that you have the ability to ask questions. Please just use that function and type in any questions that you have for us. We're going to hold all the questions until the end, but we will get to them. Nancy, please say hello to our audience.
Hi, everyone, and thank you to Brian and AutoSuccess for having us today.
Well, thank you for joining us. Right before we get started here, I would like to invite everybody that's on this call to join AutoSuccess webinars on Facebook. When you go on Facebook, there's a search function at the very top. You type in AutoSuccess webinars, and the group will come up. Please join that group, because a lot of people on this call today are going to be learning a lot of neat new things, and you're going to get 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 steps in, and you might have a question. So it's a great place to interact with our past and future and present speakers, as well as other people that are trying to implement the same changes that you're trying to implement from the things that you learned today on the webinar. Please feel free to share successes, failures, good ideas, bad ideas, anything that's relevant. Nancy, if you'd like to please get started.
Awesome, thanks. So as Brian mentioned, I'm the Director of Marketing at PureCars. I am based in Atlanta, Georgia. And for the last 10 or so years, I've been working in brand and digital marketing for agencies, for brands, and also on the tech side. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a brief overview of PureCars. We're one of the leading advertising platforms for the automotive industry. We recently relaunched our whole platform in March, where you can now execute across all screens on all devices, from search to display to social to video, as well as fixed ops. Last October, we were acquired by Raycom Media, and they are one of the largest broadcasters in the country, based in Montgomery, Alabama. Really excited about that partnership, and can tell you more about that if you want after this. And lastly, we're one of only 7 Google Premier SMB partners in automotive, and we also have partnerships with several other tech platforms. So as the title of the session says, we're going to be talking about social media today. And social media has grown so much over the last 10 years and even the last year, if you really think about it. There's so many different channels. You have YouTube, and you have Twitter, you have Vine, you've got Snapchat that's just blown up lately, and then a plethora of other networks. And to cover all of them would take much more than the 30 minutes or hour that we have here today. So we're going to focus primarily on Facebook. Facebook is definitely the social platform that has grown and continue to grow over the past few years, and has no sign of going anywhere. Some dealers haven't adopted Facebook as part of their digital mix yet. So just to frame up how large Facebook is and how much it's grown over the last few years, we look at how many people are actually on the network. 1.2 billion monthly users, 757 million daily users, and 62% of monthly active users who return on a daily basis. And this has probably grown since these numbers were pulled. I think this is from the last quarterly review that they had. And even those of you on the phone, you've probably checked your phone on Facebook more than you even realize. There are 945 million people on mobile, and then on mobile alone, 556 million daily. So they've got some incredible reach on their existing platform. Their reach extends past that as well, though. On top of the platform that they've been able to grow, they also have made acquisitions over the last 10 years on WhatsApp. They've made Messenger its own app. They've acquired Instagram, which is a huge network of people. So on top of this reach, like I was saying before, with people and their frequency day to day, there's no other platform that really gives you the same reach that Facebook does from a quantity perspective, but also from a frequency perspective. This was pulled actually a couple of years ago, so this also has probably grown as well from checking Facebook 15 to 20 times per day across desktop, tablet, and mobile. So if you think about where Facebook first started and when it first came out a while ago, you think about how it was set up for brands. When Facebook was released their Pages platform, the main goal for brands was to build a page, get a bunch of likes, engage your audience, and use it to influence your friends and family. And to this day, it's still the same premise for the most part. But with the advancement of data and how much data they've collected and how much they've innovated their product offering, there's been this shift for social, where we used to care about shares and likes and comments and how many people shared the cat meme for your dealership. That's definitely shifted to more business-focused objectives like conversions, units sold, and cost per sale. If you think about when Facebook first started, these were metrics that didn't even exist for anybody, and it was primarily just likes, shares, and comments. And on top of advancing their ad platform and providing measurable KPIs that affect your business, they've had to advance their ad platform because of the diminishing organic reach that they were getting. When it first came out, you could create a page and you got a ton of organic reach. People were seeing your content any time of the day, no matter what. But as they've seen this hockey stick growth, since 2004, there's just not enough real estate in the newsfeed anymore to accommodate all of that organic growth. So Facebook ads became one of their biggest products and has continued to evolve today. And something that we get from our dealers a lot when it comes to Facebook and even social in general, it's where do I start? It's such a huge beast, social media in general. So like any other channel, what we tell our dealers is to really think about what your business objectives are. What are you trying to do with any of your digital strategies, including social? A lot of the times they say it's to boost traffic online and in-room traffic. Second is to maximize budget. No one has an infinite budget of money that they can spend on digital or traditional or whatever the case may be. Next is to increase ROI. You can't invest more into something that's not working, so you have to show how it's working. And finally, it's to sell more cars. That's everyone's goal at the end of the day, regardless of what your digital budgets are. So how do I choose them on social? Well, the first thing is to look back at what your objectives are. And it's to sell more cars and prove an ROI on your investment. So hyper-relevant content to the right target audience and attracting an audience with that relevant message is going to help you get there. And one of our key values at PureCars is to win with relevancy. If you're spending hundreds and thousands and even millions of dollars in ads, you want to make sure that it's relevant for the end user, otherwise you're just wasting your dollars. So we look at it in 3 different phases. What you're marketing, who you're marketing to, and where you're marketing it. So the first leg of this is the who. You want to identify and target your key buyers. What's really, really, really great about Facebook and digital in general is the amount of data that's available for dealers to access and use to drive their ad campaigns. So what we have up on the screen right now is just a screenshot of the basic targeting tools that are available on Facebook. Facebook's one of the networks where billions of people are opting in with their own data, and that's something that no other network has really been able to capture. People are logging in every day and telling you what they like, what they don't like, what languages they speak, what kind of cars they like, where they are in the purchase decision. They're looking at their different behaviors that they take online as well as after they leave Facebook. And all of this is housed in Google Ads that you can reach. So here's just another example of behaviors that you can target on Facebook. In the automotive segment for Facebook in particular, you can look at people who are in market, near market, people who are currently owners of a specific brand, people who have a brand affinity for Jaguar, or Fiat, or Honda, or Toyota. And these are just a few things that you can use to determine who you want to reach in your network. A couple of other examples of different interests that you can use to target on Facebook. If I am looking at a group of people on Facebook and I see that there is a segment of people who are really, really eco-friendly and I'm running a special on Priuses, that's a great opportunity for me to leverage that interest category as well as layering in people who are in market to buy and serve them a relevant ad about my Toyota Prius lease special. Something else that Facebook has is something called lookalike audiences, and this is something where you can discover new shoppers in your market that may not know that you even exist. If I have identified a persona of someone who is in the market to buy, interested in my brand, and has even visited my site before, what Facebook does is scrapes their audience graph and finds people who are similar to that person. Maybe they shared similar interests, or they visited similar locations, or have similar behaviors. And from that, Facebook can create an audience that looks like an audience that you've already identified. And that just expands your whole network of people that you can reach. The second type of people targeting is retargeting. This is one that everyone on the phone is probably most familiar with because you've been able to do it with display for years and years and years. And what's really great about the frequency on Facebook that we talked about before is people are on Facebook all day long and checking it frequently. So when they come and visit your site and they leave and they check the sports, or they're checking weather or doing whatever they're doing online, they're going to come back to Facebook. And so it's really, really effective, from what we've seen on our retargeting tool, to serve ads directly in the newsfeed on mobile and desktop to bring them back to your site after they've already left. And it keeps your brand top of mind as well. The second leg of targeting is where, and targeting where people are. Sorry, the next slide's not loading. There we go. On top of location from zip code, city, and wherever your market reaches, you can also target by device. If you know that somebody is in the area and they're on their mobile device, mobile is used I think more than half of the time now, and you can reach those people on mobile or on desktop or on tablet. So once you've identified the who and the where you want to target, it's really, really important to hone in on the ad messaging of the creative itself. You have all of these different channels that you're managing online, and each channel is consumed differently, whether you're on search or display or video, or even within social. There's Snapchat and Twitter and Pinterest and Instagram. You would never want to post the same content on each of those channels because they're all going to be viewed differently. So here's an example of a few different ad types that are available on Facebook. You have kind of the generic one that you've seen before, which is the brand level ad. You have a carousel ad that shows different features, different images that are a little more appealing. Make sure that your content's relevant to your market as well. If you have a store in 3 different states, you would never want to run the same message across those 3 different states. You'll have different incentive offers and just different messaging points that will resonate differently. So you want to make sure that everything is tied back to your market and your audience to keep it relevant. Fixed ops is another really great opportunity to leverage social for. You can also target people who might be up for an oil change or is in your area and looking for service. So using coupons and those different ad units on Facebook, you can share a lot on the fixed ops side. We talked a little bit about retargeting before, kind of in general. Something that Amazon and a lot of e-commerce platforms have done a really, really good job of is fine-tuning retargeting so that it's more relevant to the consumer. If you look at the boot that's on the screen right now, that's not just an ad for all of the boots available on Amazon or all of the black boots available on Amazon. It's a very specific boot that's in a specific size that I've already looked at. And this is something that's new to automotive. If you think about automotive, there really isn't an equivalent to that in terms of retargeting a very specific product. In automotive, our specific product is a vehicle. And on a VIN level, we haven't really in the past been able to retarget someone with a VIN level ad that's dynamic and takes them directly back to a VDP. So here on the screen is an example of something that we're able to do now that we released earlier this year, and it's VIN level retargeting. This is a Ford F-150 that someone had looked at during their online session, They went to Facebook and they saw that exact VIN that they were looking at with the price, make, model, pictures, dynamically pulled from that dealer's inventory feed. What we're seeing on our side are 3 times higher click-through rates. We're getting longer time on site, and just a more engaged audience because we're bringing back a piece of content that they looked at that's extremely relevant to them. It's not just all of the trucks that Hometown Motor has to offer or all of the blue cars that we have. It's specifically that Ford F-150 that they saw. What's also great about these ads is that when you're pulling in a dynamic feed from your inventory, you can also incorporate things like price drop alerts to make this ad even more relevant to that person and help keep your inventory top of mind. Here are a couple of other examples of retargeting ads. The one on the right is not VIN level, and it's probably something that anyone can run, and they're pretty easy to run as well. And it just re-engages someone who's already visited your website and has shown interest in your brand, and maybe not necessarily a specific vehicle. The image on the left is more of the retargeting on a make level. So it's not a specific car, it's just your 2013 Rogue inventory. So there are different types of retargeting ads that you can run to reach people in every part of the funnel. The last piece of the presentation that I wanted to go through is probably one of the more important ones, and it's how do you measure social? People have always measured it through engagement, how many likes my post got, how many comments it got, how many times it got shared, but it doesn't really give you a clear view of how that's helping you move your business. So you want to look at the different objectives that you set up for a social campaign. Is it awareness? Is it reputation management? Customer service, lead capture, car sold? These are all popular objectives that most dealerships will have. And your reputation management is something that would be done through maybe your PR person or a social media manager that you have in-house that's answering questions and reacting to people on your page. When you look at it from the ads that we just covered, that's really more towards car sold. And if you want to measure how that affects the car sold, you can look at a couple of different things. There's call tracking, conversion tracking on your website, as well as looking at direct VDP views from Facebook. And looking at these and a few other metrics, you can start to see how your social campaign is affecting your sales on your lot. So if you think about Facebook as a whole, it's changed from 5 years ago where you would measure organic reach and how people are interacting with your content. It's completely changed. You now have the opportunity to look at it as an actual business channel to sell cars. You have to develop a mixed strategy. It's not just posting content and specials going on in your dealership day to day. You can also have different campaigns running in social for different objectives, like the retargeting techniques that we showed. And the last two are really just around relevancy and making sure that what you're doing on social is relevant to the audience that you're targeting. And that's really true across any of your digital channels. It's not just Facebook. And making sure you're providing value for everyone on the other end of that social network. So that is the end of the presentation that I have today that just kind of gave you the high-level view of Facebook and how you can use it for your dealership. Brian?
Yes. Hi, everybody. This is Brian. Right now, if you have any questions for Nancy, please type them into the question box. It's on the right side of the screen. I've got the first question right here is, how do you measure sold units?
So for us, the way that we measure it is that we have pixels on all of your VDP pages as well as your activity that's on Facebook. And what we're able to do at PureCars anyway is layer over your Google Analytics or whatever analytics system you have on your website and tie it back to what's happening on Facebook. And from there, we can follow a conversion point all the way through to your CRM and sold data.
Okay. Here's the next one. Should a dealer target salespeople's Facebook pages?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Should a dealer target salespeople's Facebook pages?
I'm not sure what the purpose of targeting a salesperson would be, other than maybe recruiting talent. You know, if you're a vendor and you're looking for salespeople, you could target your ads towards salespeople. There's definitely that piece in the audience targeting segment where you can identify certain employers and different positions within those companies to target.
Okay. What changes are coming in Facebook?
I think you're going to see it get a lot more mobile. That's been the move for the last year or two. But I think that what Facebook does a really, really good job of is listens to their users and everyone who interacts with it on a daily basis on the consumer side as well as on the advertiser side. They continue to evolve to provide more features and benefits that benefit both parties. So I think mobile is a big one. Being able to serve up more rich media like the 360 videos in your feed is another aspect. So I think we'll just see a lot more innovation come out of them.
Okay. How much non-sales content should a dealership use?
How much non-sales? I think it's a mix, and it depends on the dealership. There are some dealerships who are really, really heavily involved in their community, and so they'll just naturally have more content around things happening in their neighborhood. I think that it should be a mix, though. It shouldn't be 100%, but it just depends on what the dealership, how the dealership operates and what their audience expects from them.
Just one sec. I got to expand this thing. Okay, what is the most effective CTA on a Facebook ad? Call, fill form, click, website, etc.
The most effective ones are going to be the ones that are more relevant to the ad. So I think that there are some dealers who I've seen who will do a blanket CTA for all of their ads. All of their ads will say call now. And even though the ad has nothing to do with them calling, it could be, you know, click here to learn more, but then their CTA on the button doesn't match. The key to that is making it relevant. I think that coming in for a test drive is one that we've seen that works really well, or scheduling a test drive. Clicks to the website is a good one as well. Again, it's just looking at the rest of the copy and the rest of the creative in the ad and just making it relevant to that.
All right. Are the dynamic VIN-level ads set up through Facebook or a third-party tool?
So you can do dynamic retargeting on Facebook on your own through Facebook, but it's really just going to be the website level and the SRP level. For VIN-level retargeting, that's something that PureCars has actually built out proprietarily, I don't know if that's a word, but we built that on our own, kind of hacking the e-commerce tool that they had for shops like Amazon. A lot of those things are triggered by e-commerce activities that don't exist on dealer websites. So we spent a lot of time really looking at how dealer websites work, and how the Facebook API features play with those different pieces, and created that VIN-level dynamic retargeting on our own. So that's something that we have that you wouldn't be able to access on your own.
Okay, Nancy, this question is a follow-up question to what is the most effective CTA? And the secondary question is, or would a landing squeeze page really be the best tool to capture live leads than venture from Facebook to your dealer's website?
That's a good question. I think that also varies from dealership to dealership. I guess this isn't really a two-way, but there's also lead capture forms that Facebook just released in the last couple of months where you can capture lead information directly from the Facebook feed that doesn't require you to build out a specific landing page or a different experience. In some of the dealers that we've looked at who have experimented with a landing page versus a VDP page, we've seen that VDP-driven traffic is going to perform well and above anything that's driven to a landing page or a specials page.
All right. Anthony wants to know, what is your management fee?
Our management fee ranges. We do have tiered pricing for different size rooftops. It does start at $500 a month, and we can send you some more information on that after this. But it does start at $500 a month for different products. Okay.
Well, it looks like we've gotten through all the questions. Thank you, everybody. Those were a lot of good questions. Nancy, thank you for coming. And I'd like to remind everybody on this call that if you're not a member of AutoSuccess webinars on Facebook, please join there. I mean, after this presentation, I'm sure you can all find it. But you know, it's a great place to not only find out about future webinars, but to interact with the speakers, with other attendees. Please join. And if there is any particular topic or speaker that you would like for us to you know, invite or to address, please let me know. My email is Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at AutoSuccessOnline.com. Or you're welcome to contact me through Facebook. Nancy, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners before we go?
Yeah, I'll share my email address as well. It's just Nancy L, my initial, at PureCars.com. Or you can send your questions through webinars at PureCars.com as well, and we'll get back to you.
Perfect. Well, everybody, thank you for taking the time out of the day today. I'm sure that everybody learned a lot of good things. Please reach out to Nancy or myself if you have any additional questions. You'll all get an email tomorrow from me as well, thanking you for coming. So if you think of something overnight, please send me an email, and I will get you in touch with Nancy. Nancy, thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody, have a great afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.